how to use the Wix dropshipping and totally for free. In this step-by-step tutorial, I'm going to show you how does the Modalyst.co works. So this Modalyst is an amazing brand with print-on-demand dropshipping and much more products that are created by the actual Wix. So let's get started totally for free. So here into the Modalyst.co, what I want to do first of all is to have a Wix.com account, a website in order to get started. So what I want to do is to either create an account into Wix and create my website and then later link that into Modalyst, or do everything into Modalyst. For the purpose of this tutorial, I'm going to be having just a backup website so we can continue. So if I go into my Wix, I'm going to go for create my new site. And here what I want to type is to create an online store that I can start to use. So I'm going to go for online store when it says what kind of website are you creating. Let's go for online store, hit into next, and then it's going to be asking like what is going to be the name of your store. So let's go for text store. And now we have the what you want to add to your website. Here are the recommended. Here for example, here's the online store. I'm going to click here. We have the chat support. We can add forms. We can add events, blogs, and much more. So I'm going to go for, let's say, just some videos. And I'm going to go into next. If you want to add more, that's totally up to you. That depends on what is the niche and what is your actual website. In my case, there's actually two ways that we can do this. Whether you want to get a custom build site by Wix, or you want to use a template that was already been created and that you can customize that later. In my case, I want to go for the second option, so you can look out for something a little bit more easier to get started with. So in my case, since I chose the online store website template, it's going to be popping up a lot of templates only for online store. So once you look out for the one that the best fits for yourself, or the one that you did liked, for example this one, I'm going to hit into view. If I first want to like preview and check it out how it's actually working, this actual product, this actual website. So with that being said, if I think that this actually working for me, I'm going to go and scroll all my way up and look how for use this template. So we can now start to edit here into our actual Wix, because in my case I'm going to just leave it like that, and I just want to publish this editor. I want to publish this website, and then later I want to install this into Modalyst. So let's go back into Modalyst. I want to go into start for free. So here into start for free, what you want to do is to choose the option that says continue with Wix, like this. And automatically it's going to be sending us the site where we want to get started with. In our case, we want to look out for the one that we have just created. So that's the reason why I just told you guys that we needed to have a website already been created. So let's go back into the editor of Wix. I'm going to publish this website that we have just used as a template. You don't have to worry about the elements, that of course these are not ours, and we can customize that later. We want to just link it and take a look into the pros and the cons of the actual editor of the Modalyst. So once again, choose connect with Wix and choose the one that in my case is the Text Store Express, which is the first option, and boom. Now as you can see, the actual Modalyst has been just enabled, my website, which I think that in my case is just one pro, that we can use a store from Wix and we can just implement that, and automatically the integration between both of them is really easy. So let's go into the next section, which is finding the product. So here for example, we have the finish setting up your store, just as we just saw that in other places, like for example into Shopify. We can connect our store, adjust price rules, connect Alibaba, connect AliExpress, add products to the import list, and send products to your store. So since Modalyst is just specifically speaking about print on demand and drop shipping, I think that I can give you a strong pro. It's going to be helping you to set up your store, yes, to be only dedicated into the drop shipping and or the print on demand. So if I go for find products, it's going to be sending me into the print on demand section. So I can choose all the categories, and as you can see, have a lot of products that ships into the United States only. So if you want to look out for most relevance, or you want to change the categories, you can do that. But in my case, I want to look out for ready to sell, not on the print on demand. So here into ready to sell, as you can see, I have a lot, but really a lot of stuff that I can sell. For example, the one peak new designer. So I'm going to go into the add to the import list, look out for more. And once we have successfully done that, let's say that I want to add something else. Let's say that I want to add just like 3 items. So I'm going to go and scroll a little bit down, look out for something like really easy to import. And as you can see, we do have Alibaba into the upper side. This is the actual dropshipper, the indie brands. they have the AliExpress, and they have much more. In my case, guys, I just want to focus into one of them. So if I choose Alibaba, it's going to be sending me now into the retailer marketplace of the Alibaba. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to go for the import list, which in our case, remember that we have 2 of them, and we have 2 products. So what I want to do is to customize the actual product name. So I'm going to hit into the product name. I'm going to just delete all of this because I think this is useless. I have the collections. I want to go into the special edition. Here is our vendor. I'm going to go for text, shop specs. So I'm going to just leave it like that, and product name here is exactly the same. So once you customize your product, I want to go into the same collection here, the same vendor, and add this into my store. So as you can see, this is the product is now available on your store. To view and manage it, go into the synced products. So if I go into the synced list, it's going to be popping here what is the actual product and where it's linked to. In our case, it's Alibaba, and this is the actual pricing. So what I want to do is to, of course, change the price so we can earn a few profit. So I think that I'm going to give you another pro to the actual Modalyst because it was really easy and fast to add a website. But I think that I can give a con if I'm using another website, if I want to use another integration, for example, to go for connect your store. So I'm going to go into add a new store. As you can see, we can connect Wix or Shopify. But if I click into other, we can use a CSV file, which I think if I'm just getting started with dropshipping or print on demand, it's going to be a little bit difficult to add a CSV file, and of course manually adding stuff is going to be really hard, which I think that this is like a con that we can only use Wix or Shopify. But if we are using Wix, this is a strong pro, and if this is Shopify, it can be really worth it to check it out. But I think that since we are now some Wix users, exclusively Wix users, we can just get started with the actual section here. I have the hobby, which I think that this is totally for free. We can add up to 25 product limit, and we are not going to be paying absolutely anything. Speaking about totally getting started totally for free, I think this is once again a strong pro to Modalyst to get started. And I think that can be a little bit more, let's say, easier to access Modalyst. But this is like just my point of view. And since I do have the business information, speaking about taxes, user settings, and all that, I think that I would love to see what are the actual terms of use. I want to see the shipping codes and all that, which I think this is not at the hand of the Modalyst. So speaking about the actual shipping codes and all that, I cannot see this at the moment. So I think that this might be, I don't know if a pro or a con, but I would love to see what is going on here with the actual shipping codes, which I think is really important into Modalyst. But with that being said, guys, this is just like my idea. This is our idea of how the Modalyst work. I think that since you are a user of Wix, and if you're just getting started with the print on demand of dropshipping, it's going to be really easy to get started. But if you are from somewhere else, for example into Shopify, you want to go into the Wix, for example, or you are from Square or somewhere else into Amazon, for example, it's going to be a little bit more hard to get started. So with that being said, guys, hopefully this was a strong, useful video for you. So don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel if you want to see more about the Modalyst. And thank you so much for watching the video, guys. See you on the next video.